trending topics, we got you covered.
If it's buzzing, we're breaking it down.
Good afternoon, I'm Janina, Vela. We may be young, but we're not naive. We ask questions, challenge the narrative, and we're learning in real time.
Good afternoon, I'm Jille Sebandal, kanang mga chika nga naisense, ato ng himong headlines. So for the next half hour, it's time for our
Unpopular Opinion.
Unpopular opinion. Say it again. Say it again. Unpopular opinion. We are open for discussion.
I love the pink.
Yes, super girly.
It's super girly. We have a conversation just between girls today. But I want to start us off. When do you feel the most confident, Jill?
Every after ligo.
Pag mabango?
Kasi pag mabango, pag fresh. Diba? How about you, Janina?
Miss Universe answer, I feel the most confident when I get to speak my mind. Real answer, when my makeup is done, when Ate Rose does my hair.
Yeah,
And it takes a village and I have a super beautiful top, right? Like,
Yes.
that's really the real answer. But it really takes a village to be able to make us look the way that we do. Kasi I wish naman we look like this every day.
Diba? Woke up like this.
Yeah.
Parang
Pero hindi talaga, no?
Yeah, well, hindi talaga. Kasi there are also times na akala natin maganda na tayo, pero para sa mata ng iba, hindi. But most important thing, kailangan feel natin na maganda tayo on our own.
Yes, on our own. And actually, that begs the question, no? Who decides what is beautiful? I mean, in a perfect world, we can say, oh, I decide what's beautiful based on what I think is beautiful. But then you wonder, who told you that X is beautiful, right? Who told you na dapat ganito yung itsura mo, right?
Beauty standards.
Yeah, different beauty standards. There's actually a study here in 2023. A study found that teens who used beautifying AR filters reported lower self-esteem and increased acceptance of cosmetic procedures. Now, what do you think about that? That there's a correlation between uses of cosmetic procedures to lower self-esteem.
Well, para sa akin, Janina, it's not really important naman na kailangan mo yung validation. In Bisaya nga, kinahanglan mo validation sa ubang tao. But for us, it's really have to be you.
Yeah.
Ikaw pa rin yung nagde-decide for yourself. And yung mga studies na yan, it's given naman, given the fact that the studies are there. Pero ikaw pa rin yung magde-decide for yourself eh.
Yeah. Dapat ganon. I think we have another fact here. A 2020 study found that 89.5% of adolescents surveyed in Cavite were at high risk of eating disorders linked with social media usage, right? But then the last one that I wanted to talk about actually was that when you talk about plastic surgeons, more than half of plastic surgeons in a 2019 survey said that patients referenced using filtered selfies when requesting certain procedures. So now you think, okay, I have to be beautiful based on what I think is beautiful. But some people are going to procedures based on people and appearances that don't even exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Parang medyo controversial siyang ganyan eh. Kasi eto if you try to think na yung nakikita mo sa filters are beautiful, why not apply it to yourself? Parang ganun yung magiging perspective nila eh. Pero if you try to see the bigger picture, am I really doing this for myself or I'm just doing this for the validation of other people? Diba?
Yeah, and yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so ganun siya. Parang you're just doubting yourself. You're just doubting your beauty. It's just that you just really have to accept who you really are.
Yes. And I think that's always the question that enters my head, no? Is it really an exercise of feminism to change something about my body to feel a little bit more confident? Because sometimes that can look like, oh, I'm exercising my power of choice, which is, I see why that would be valid. But for some reason, the preferences that we choose, the procedures that we choose, always adhere to the societal patterns and the societal standards that we see in media. So is that really your choice, or are those external factors that really molded your choice and indoctrinated you from the moment that you were born? Right? And we have a lot more things to talk about that.
Yes, ang dami-dami pa.
We have a lot more
gagawin.
things. I mean, I know, right? And if we're going to talk about beauty, we might as well hear it from someone who's been right at the heart of the conversation.
Well, let's get into it with our content creator, Ayn Bernos. Don't go away. Unpopular Opinion. We'll be right back. The definition of what's pretty online is changing fast. Na para bang bawat scroll may bagong trend na naman.
It really begs the question, are we truly becoming more inclusive or just repackaging beauty standards for the next viral moment? So to unpack her popular opinion, let's sit down with Ayn Bernos, Just Between Girls. So cute.
Yes.
Ayn, welcome to the show.
Hello, girls. Thank you
Good
so much for
afternoon.
having me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You have been so vocal. You know, I think it goes without saying you did your thesis on colorism. Yes. I remember that from what I watched all of your TikTok videos on that.
Thank you.
And then you joined Miss You PH, which was also another story that you were sharing your testimony as well on body positivity, right? So you've built your platform around these two things. Do you feel like we're actually seeing more inclusivity in the world?
You know, it's crazy because it's like we're swinging from one end of the pendulum to the other. And alam mo yun, napagdaanan natin all of these different eras of beauty. But then at the same time, I think to myself, why do we have eras
Yes.
of beauty, right? Why does that exist in the first place? But I'm really glad that the conversation is there. I think that's the one thing that's really changed is that we are so self-aware about all of these new nuances na talagang we're having these conversations and we're really questioning it more. I wouldn't say like we've gone so far kasi parang bumabalik tayo a little bit, especially body image-wise, medyo maraming changes. But at the same time, the fact now we are able to talk about it and question it and really be more aware of why we do things to our body, to our face, everything.
Yeah,
That's progress.
I like the point
Yeah.
that you put out now. Why does beauty have an era? I think we saw that. I don't know if you would watch YouTube before and they would show like 20s, 30s, 50s, and until now. But that was always about hair and that was always about makeup and always about clothes. But the question is why in the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, now it's the shape of your body that we're looking at, right?
Yeah, I think it's the accessibility or just the option to be able to change it at all because for the longest time, diba, hindi din naman ganun ka accessible for us regular people, yung mga procedures, ganyan. But now with social media, with, I don't know, just growing access to all of this new information, parang all of a sudden we're like, oh, we could be anything. But at the same time, that's definitely a double-edged sword because what do you mean we get to be anything?
And speaking of changes, ang dami-daming nangyayari na sa atin, lalo-lalo na sa'yo, as a content creator. Now, what is the most backhanded compliment na you still hear about beauty today?
Beauty siguro, kapag when they're like, Miss Ayin, you're so chubby now, pero maganda ka pa rin. And it's like,
okay.
Maganda ka pa rin.
Maganda ka pa rin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it makes you very aware of how people perceive you. Because on one hand, without those comments, you could be feeling a certain way about yourself na parang, you know, I've been very consistent about movement for the last few months, and then all of a sudden, somebody who hasn't seen you in 4 years comments that. And then it really warps the way that you see your body, your beauty, and ayun, we don't have the luxury of our very small circle anymore. Definitely, social media has played a big role in that.
Yeah, and speaking of social media's role now, as an influencer, how do you navigate your personal beauty choices while knowing that your audiences might be taking cues or even being influenced by what you promote?
You know, I feel like it's actually saved me a lot of times because just like any person, I feel like when we see new procedures, new developments, di mo maiiwasan to think na, oh, maybe I should do that. Oh, bagay ba to sa akin? Or we even develop new insecurities because we see other people, their perspective on it. So hindi mo maiiwasan to start thinking about it with regards to yourself. But having and knowing my relationship with my audience and understanding na the things that I do to my body and to my face and just to myself overall, that will definitely influence and impact other people's decisions. It's really given me the opportunity to take a step back and question myself with even more intentionality na bakit ko nga ba to gusto? Ano bang rason? If I were to do this, why? So that's why I'm grateful for the community because it also keeps me in check, but at the same time, that's a level of responsibility that I feel like we have to be aware, because if you amplify your choice times 1,000, a million, what does that look like for our society?
Yeah.
I love this conversation. You're really putting so much out there, no? But this conversation really begs the question: is it really self-love or doing it for yourself if your appearance keeps changing based on what's trending? But before you answer that, unpopular opinion, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Unpopular Opinion. Before we left off, we asked you, matatawag ba talagang self-love kung iiba or kung nag-iiba yung appearance mo? Kasabay ng trend, what's on your take?
That's crazy. I mean, how can you qualify that, diba? Especially, ikaw rin makakasagot niyan for yourself. It's really hard, especially when we look at other people who do it on social media na nagbabago nga yung appearance nila based on trends. But as a person, pag tatanong ko sa sarili ko, feeling ko ako personally, if I were to do that, that would not be self-love. Because in order to have self-love, you have to have a foundation na kung saan ka nanggagaling. And like I said earlier, kailangan alam mo kung bakit mo nga ba ginagawa to. And if it's for the sake of just changing because there's something new that's quote-unquote beautiful, quote-unquote good and better, then are we really doing it for our betterment, or is it something that we are chasing? And honestly, it's the chase that makes it so hard because it never ends. It will continue to evolve and it will continue to change. And we're gonna get to a point when di na kaya ng katawan natin, ng face natin, or it's just
Or
not...
ng wallet.
Or ng wallet.
Wallet,
you know,
technically ng wallet.
Yeah, exactly. And having that chase at all feels very... may hindi enough. You know,
Yeah.
that's the unsaid thing here. You know, may kulang. And just knowing na may kulang at may kulang sa appearance natin is a hard way to live, honestly.
It's tiring. It's
exhausting.
draining.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's very loving to keep exhausting yourself for the sake of these things.
Yeah, so I love what you laid out. Let's hit the nail on the head. I'm going to show you different beauty trends. And we are going to ask for your honest or maybe even unpopular opinions on these trends, right? So let's react to 2026 beauty trends. Why don't you start us off, Jill?
Let's start with diabetes drugs.
Oh my gosh.
Na actually, ginagamit siya for weight loss. Ginagamit talaga siya technically for weight loss.
It was created for,
Yes,
for
actually, for health
reasons.
purposes, health reasons. So, is the rise of weight loss having weight loss na ganito nga, is a win for the health or is a loss for the body positivity? Yung pag-i-engage or pagte-take ng ganito.
Yeah. Definitely, I would say it's a win for health if done the right way. My main concern here is the rise of the availability of this in the black market. It's so unregulated, especially how you see it on comment sections na, oh sis, saan mo nabili yan? Ako meron akong supply. It's like, what do you mean meron kang supply? That's the concerning part for me. It's just because it's available and you can get it does not mean you're supposed to.
Yes.
And if it's something that will really help, especially me, I have PCOS, the weight gain, you know. But ako naman personally, I actually did ask about this sa doctor ko, and she said na, you know, you haven't exhausted all ways to treat your PCOS. So parang ako, it's a last resort, especially now na hindi pa siya clear eh. Parang, I honestly don't know. I think the whole black market situation is just such a...
It's dangerous.
It's
Yes,
so
it's
dangerous.
it's very dangerous.
Yes. And parang ang nangyayari ngayon, just because it's there, may kasalanan ka na for not losing the weight. You know?
Yes,
And I
yeah.
don't like that. I don't think that's a good thing at all for us. Na, you know, mabilis na lang. You can do it in 6 weeks. Na you can lose all the weight in 6 weeks. And it's just a very unhealthy way to go about things. And yun nga, nagkaka-shortcut tayo na kung hindi naman kailangan, bakit kailangan natin to go the black market direction just
correct.
to make it happen.
It's like losing weight becomes as easy as changing clothes, and we don't know the long-term effects on people because
scary.
Yeah, because of that instant gratification. There are so many things. Because I was sharing earlier, I was 10 kilos like heavier before, and there was so much learnings and so much personal growth that comes also with deciding to choose myself, with deciding to fix my relationship with food,
Yeah.
with deciding to find movement that works for me. And again, I'm not speaking towards people who use this for health reasons,
Yeah,
right?
just like me.
Yeah, just like Jill
Yes,
here.
I'm on GLP-1 though. Kasi I have PCOS, both ovaries ko polycystic din. But I
Yeah.
have to lose weight dahil nga para mas ma-clear yung aking ovaries, both ovaries.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Sabi nga ni Ayn kanina dyan na, di ba, she's okay for medical uses but not for those things na gagamitan lang.
Yeah, so this is a good conversation. We'll keep it going with our second procedure here. We have veneers and the rise of bunny teeth.
Oh,
Have you seen this, Ayn?
Yes, I've seen that. Actually, I've found yung bunny teeth kind of cute.
Yeah.
Kasi it's really very cute na personality. I think if it's well done, that's great. Ang caveat ko lang here is, again, when you go about it the wrong way, like I've heard some people had their teeth shaved.
Yeah.
And yung overall dental health mo in the long term, that's really
yeah, magiging short
dangerous.
tooth na siya.
Yeah, I saw
Super,
that.
Ano
We have a photo of that. It's scary pala without the
Ang
veneers.
dami-dami nilang tinatanggal na teeth.
Yeah. Siguro ako, as long as it's, again, done with your longevity and mind, and as long as, an actual professional does it. Because sometimes, again, we turn to these random people to do such serious procedures. So, yeah.
And I love that you raised the problem or the issue of oral health, no? Like, because it seems very Hunger Games-esque.
Yes. The capital.
The capital. It feels like we're in the capital right now where we end up prioritizing oral health to just so that we can have the perfect teeth, right?
Yes.
Like, parang aesthetic is more important than having a good
And
set.
again, there's like mas sustainable options like, braces, ganyan. I mean, it takes 2 years, 3 years na parang, syempre, meron tayong face na maybe some people na gusto nila diretso na sa perfect na agad. But then I think it has to always come from a holistic standpoint na if I do this, what's the side effect? What's the long term? What's it gonna look like long term? And yeah, I think yun yung main concern ko. Although cute yung bunny teeth, I don't know how personally magbabago yung bite ng mga tao. Pero I've seen I have mga content creator friends na bunny teeth. It's parang, oh, that's cute.
Cute nga siya.
siya.
Cute nga siya. Well, speaking of cute and yung mga appearance natin online, eto, Hailey Bieber, clean makeup.
Yeah, the
Eto,
clean
ayan,
girl
the clean girl
makeup.
era.
Oh, I love the clean girl makeup because tamad ako. And parang learning how to do makeup a simpler way was really nice
Yeah,
to
but
have.
here's the question, Ayn. Is the clean girl trend ever really advocating for natural beauty?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Is
You know,
it- yeah.
one thing that I noticed was parang people they would associate clean girl with more mestiza chinita looks.
Okay.
Yun yung conversation that I found on social media na parang, wait, I think clean girl is more of like a makeup style as opposed to a physical look.
Yeah.
So now, I like that you brought that up because, oo nga, kasi may ibang mga tao na they associate clean girl with certain features ng beauty, like clean girl, aka perfect skin, glass skin, ganyan. When I think I've always seen it as a makeup style and a hairstyle, but
For sure.
that's really nuanced.
I think, it's definitely nuanced because when you look at how that affected other people, because as a PCOS girly as well,
Famous na siya.
I was very acne prone when the clean girl look pioneered. And so then it kind of, I don't know, it kind of spotlighted that I can never be a clean
crazy.
girl.
That's
like,
crazy.
I will never look like Hailey Bieber or those
Fresh
mestizas,
lang.
the fresh lang, and use only a dot of concealer. So then are we fronting that kind of natural beauty only? because that's what's accepted, or is it fronting all of the natural beauties that exist? Because I only saw one kind.
You only see one kind, especially on social media. Ang umaangat is always a certain type of look. Even part of my thesis, we were mentioning earlier sa colorism, one of the words that people used with maitim was madumi. Which is, diba, parang may ganong connotation. Even if we don't actively think about it, may mga taong ganun yung perception nila. So that's why clean girl was such a conversation with when it was trending, because pwede rin naman maging clean girl pag morena ka.
Yes,
dapat.
of course.
Dapat
It's
pwede.
honestly just a makeup style for me. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next we have Kris Jenner here. We have a photo of her. Plastic surgery, cosmetic procedures. Should cosmetic procedures and plastic surgery be fully normalized in today's culture?
You know, there's two sides of this na I really think about, because on one hand, we used to see retokada as such an insult, diba?
That's true.
And then now, it's not necessarily an insult anymore. And at the same time, I think that's nice. Na you shouldn't throw that at all to anybody just
Of
because,
course.
you know, people have made choices. Like, doesn't say anything about them.
No.
Right? And it shouldn't be an insult. But at the same time, I think it's the lack of, it's how accessible it's become that now people can do it younger, much younger. It can start as early as 18. There are, you know, sometimes 16 years old, they're already thinking about it. Pinag-iipunan na nila yung nose job nila. Pinag-iipunan na nila. There was a creator who's in her 20s in the US, I think. And she had her facelift already.
Wow.
At like in her 20s. And the fact that these aren't regulated, or parang just because we can, parang hindi fully informed yung these decisions.
What effect does this have on young girls who are now kind of growing up, molding their lives towards one day I'm going to change my nose, one day I'm going to get Ozempic, one day I'm going to be whiter? And they can, because it's accessible, like what you
Yeah.
said.
I feel like we're taking away the choice to just like yourself as you are, which is a very, very valid choice to have. And it's completely possible. But because of all of these things so readily available, parang ang nangyayari is we do have the option shortcut. It's not even, parang I feel like nawawala sa conversation yung you have this other option na you can
Love
just
yourself.
love
You
yourself.
just
Like
love
that is also an option.
Accept yourself.
Yes.
One of the things that really challenged me during my pageant era was how many options I was given in terms of plastic surgery. Na people were telling me na, okay, this is what you need to glow up. And I was given a list of things na pwede kong gawin. Like, I could get a nose job, I could get a buccal fat removal, I could arm lipo, all of these things. And then just the idea of it was appealing, of course, because I was getting hate left and right for being my natural self. But looking back now, it's been my math is so bad, 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years since then. And I'm so glad I didn't get any of those done because it was very temporary.
Yes.
Yes.
The need felt so palpable in the moment just because I was hearing all of these things. But then when it all calmed down and then I went back to myself and just really asked myself, bakit nga ba? Gusto ko ba talaga? And I'm like, no, I never really wanted any of those things.
Hindi
And
naman talaga natin kailangan yon, di ba?
Yes.
Because we are already beautiful enough. Kung sino tayo, yun na yun. Just we are, iba kasi talaga eh. We're just trying to accept who we really are. So just loving yourself, positive lang. But eto as a morena woman, eto, do you even think or do you think tanning culture is empowering or a problematic one?
I think it is. I
It
think
is.
it is powerful.
Empowering.
I think it is empowering because of the kung saan yung pinanggagalingan ng society natin. Because our society has been so centered on whiteness for the longest time.
Yeah.
You know, historically, we centered whiteness as a society. So now just having that option and having that celebrated is such a big I know, it's such a big step forward. And
Morenas.
Yeah.
I'm really glad na people are embracing it rather than turning the other way and, you know, having all of these procedures to strip off that beautiful morena glow. So just the fact na people actually want to go out into the sun after so many years of being told, bawal yan, that to me is a step forward. But again, sunscreen always.
Yes,
SPF always.
SPF always. Because di ba sometimes sinasabi sa atin ng mga, a lot of criticism will really tell us na, maganda yan dahil maputi, maganda yan dahil eto nga, ganito, ganyan. But, hello, maganda din ang morena, di ba?
Yeah, definitely, no. And super bitin our discussion. But for our final
Yes.
question, Ayn, no, how do you think younger generations will define beauty in the future?
I hope. I can't tell what they would define it as, but I hope they define it as the way that they love themselves. I hope whatever choices they make in the future about their body, about their faces, I hope it always comes from a place of self-love, a place of genuine care for themselves, their health, and but I hope it's just decentered overall. Because
Yes.
as much as we love looking good and as much as we like to feel our best when we look our best, parang meron pa rin siyang side na it becomes the most important thing, which I don't believe it is. You should be able to go beyond what you look like and be taken as seriously or as seriously as you want to be, whatever you look like. So I hope na, you know, like, sure, we care about taking care of ourselves, but at the end of it all, sana hindi na yun yung number one priority nating lahat because there's more to life.
Yeah, kumbaga, our body will be the least interesting thing about us.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Ayn.
Thank you
oh
so
my gosh,
much,
what a
Ayn.
wonderful conversation.
Ayun. So, lagi nating sinasabi that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Totoo nga naman. Pero, malinaw na ba? Malinaw na ba sa atin lahat? Iba-iba yung beauty standards sa kung ano ang matatawag na maganda.
So we turn to a reality check. Do we expect others to conform to our own idea of beauty? Because while we all have our own standards of beauty, we also carry a responsibility to respect and appreciate every other set of beholding eyes. Once again, I'm Janina Vela. If this episode got you thinking, then our work here is done.
And I'm Jille Sebandal. Og mooyon ka o dili, we said what we said. And that's another
Unpopular Opinion Unpacked.
Unpopular opinion. Say it again. Say it again. Unpopular